Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. On the final days of my quarantine, even the relatively few of you that I was seeing pre-quarantine, I don't see now. I look forward to seeing you and many others very, very soon. Please take note of all the programs and shiurim coming up soon. I'll be giving a 3-part mini-series for women on Sefer Rus as we prepare for Shavuos beginning this Tuesday evening. Chassidus for men. On Thursday evening this week, we'll be discussing Lag BaOmer. In partnership with Nishmat and Mizrahi, we have the Health and Halacha virtual conference in loving memory of our dear Dr. Celeste Masuda Jacobs coming up very soon, and the joint pre-Shavuos shiurim in partnership with Landers College for Men. Please look out for this and so many more exciting programs and shiurim. And please look out for our exciting Shavuos cheesecake giveaway, which will be very similar to what we did on Purim. Every single member of Clanton Park Synagogue, our beloved shul, will get a beautiful milk and honey cheesecake in honor of Shavuos. And we'll all have the opportunity to sponsor this cheesecake and this community building and unity building event and initiative. We'll all have the opportunity to sponsor it in honor of or in memory of someone. A flyer will be sent to you early next week. The second of this week's Parshas, the Parsha of Kedoshim, opens with the command to live a life of holiness. Daber al kol adas b'nei Yisrael. Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu to speak to the entire assembly of the Jewish people. And Hashem says, what should you, Moshe Rabbeinu, tell the Jewish people? V'amarta alehem, you should tell them, Kedoshim to you. Tell the Jewish people, you must be holy. Ki kadosh ani Hashem Elokeichem, because I, Hashem, your God, is holy. And many point out that the reason that Moshe was instructed by Hashem to speak to the entire assembly of the Jewish people when saying Kedoshim to you, you must be holy, is because with these two words of Kedoshim to you, you must be holy, with these two words, the Torah sums up our missions as Jews, to be holy individuals and to be a holy people. The Chassam Sofer of Moshe Schreiber, one of the leading rabbis of European Jewry in the first half of the 19th century, Rav of the city of Pressburg, he died in 1839. The Chassam Sofer has a beautiful pshat, and he suggests that the command of Hashem to Moshe Rabbeinu of Daber al kol adas b'nei Yisrael, the command of Hashem to Moshe that he should speak to the entire assembly of the Jewish people, is not meant merely to convey to whom these two words of Kedoshim to you, to whom these two words of you shall be holy should be said. But on an even more important and deeper level, says the Chassam Sofer, when Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu to speak al kol adas b'nei Yisrael, he's telling Moshe Rabbeinu how these two words, Kedoshim to you, how, more importantly, these two words of you must be holy should be fulfilled. And what he means is as follows. The Chassam Sofer says that a person may think that the best way to fulfill this command to live a life of holiness is to isolate himself, is to isolate herself from other people, what the Chassam Sofer refers to as hisbodedus, isolation. And the reason that a person might think that isolation is the best way to achieve holiness is because if no one else, if nothing else is around, including our smartphones, including our electronic devices, if there are no distractions or temptations, if there's no responsibility to worry about other people, other things, then pursuing Kedusha, pursuing holiness would seemingly be an easy task. And yet, despite the apparent benefits of isolation, the Chassam Sofer says that the Torah with these words is very clearly rejecting this approach, even if the motivation to do so is for spiritual refinement and growth. Running away to and living a life in a forest, he says, is not the intention that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has for us and for our lives. Yes, of course, alone time, isolation, meditation, hisbodedus are all important and even encouraged, but not as the default, not as the every minute of everyday type of lifestyle. Rather, the goal of life teaches the Torah with this pasuk, the goal of Kedoshim to you, the goal of you must be holy, and the way to achieve true holiness is to pursue holiness specifically within Kol Adas B'nei Yisrael, specifically within the entire assembly of the Jewish people, specifically within the context of the community, to interact with other people, to interact with our fellow Jew, to learn from each other, and to grow together. It's been a very difficult 13 months, and although it may not seem like it right now, I do truly believe that we are very close to the end. Some of us have been able to maintain and even further our Kedusha, our holiness during these isolating times. Some of us have really struggled and maybe even have lost some of the holiness that we had pre-COVID. But either way, The message in this week's Parsha is very clear. The true way, and really the only way, to complete holiness, to achieve Kedoshim Tiyu, is within Kol Hadas B'nai Yisrael, is within the context of the community. The time is coming sooner than we think when we will be able to once again gather in the way that we did so before. And let's prepare ourselves physically and emotionally to fully rejoin our Clanton Park synagogue community, each person at the right time and in the right way, because by doing so, by rejoining the community and specifically by rejoining the shul, we will bring the ultimate holiness, not only to ourselves, but also to each other. Wishing you a wonderful, safe, and holy Shabbos.